you join us on African News 24 TV for news and updates of events happening around the world. I'm Mary Adam. Let's begin with this bulletin with a report of clarification by the Nigerian Air Force claiming one of its C-130 aircraft violated Burkina Faso's airspace, stating that the aircraft diverted as a precaution after the crew detected a technical concern shortly after takeoff from Lagos on December 8, 2025. The aircraft, which was on a ferry mission to Portugal, landed at the nearest airfield in Bobo Dioulasso, in line with international aviation safety protocols. NAF spokesperson Air Commodore Ihimene Jodame said in a statement on Tuesday that the personnel aboard the aircraft are safe and receiving cordial treatment from Burkina authorities. He added that the diversion was strictly a safety decision and not an airspace violation, noting that plans are underway for the mission to resume as scheduled. This clarification follows reports by Burkina Faso State News Agency, which illustrated that the aircraft carrying 11 Nigerian soldiers were forced to land after allegedly entering the country's airspace without clearance. NAF, however, maintained that the landing was voluntary and conducted in full compliance with standard operating procedures. Still in security, President Bola TINUBU has asked for approval from the Senate to deploy troops to the Republic of Benin in the wake of the Tuata coup there. In a letter read on the floor of the Senate by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, TINUBU said the request follows an appeal from Beninese authorities for exceptional and immediate air and ground support to help restore constitutional order. The move comes after mutinous soldiers briefly seized key state institutions, including the national TV station, before security forces regained control with help from Nigerian air support and ground troops. The intervention is being framed as part of regional solidarity under ECOWAS principles, reflecting Nigeria's readiness to assist a neighbor in defense of democracy and stability. As the Senate considers the requests, many are watching closely. This decision could set a major precedent for how Nigeria responds to a regional crisis. Away from that, the Nigeria Labour Congress has announced plans to embark on a nationwide protest on December the 17th over the worsening insecurity in the country. The decision was contained in a communique issued after the National Executive Council meeting held on Monday in Lagos and signed by NLC President Joe Ajaero and Acting General Secretary Benson Opa. The NEC condemned the recent abductions of 24 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the killing of school staff, describing the surging attacks on schools as alarming. It criticized the reported withdrawals of security personnel from the affected school and urged the federal government to secure learning institutions, particularly in vulnerable communities. The Congress resolved to mobilize all affiliates for the planned protests, demanding immediate investigation and prosecution of those responsible for security lapses. The communique also highlighted concerns over crises in the tertiary education and health sectors, including ongoing strikes and renewed calls for reforms within the Labour Party. It warned the failure to address insecurity and other pressing national issues could trigger broader industrial actions, adding that workers and citizens must unite to demand a safer country. From labor to telecommunication, as telecom provider Globalcom has issued an apology after a nationwide data outage disrupted internet services across Nigeria on the morning of December 9, 2025. In its official statement, the company said the outage began around 8:30 a.m. and affected multiple locations across the country. Globe pledged that its technical team is working around the clock to restore services as quickly as possible and thanked customers for their patience. The firm also reached out to users via social media, acknowledging the inconvenience caused and reaffirming its commitment to providing reliable service. As Nigerians await full restoration GLO's prompt acknowledgement and promise of swift resolution has been met with cautious optimism by many subscribers. In business, the federal government has directed ministries, departments, and agencies to roll over 70% of the 2025 capital budget into the 2026 fiscal year. This move, according to the federal government, aims to ensure continuity for ongoing projects and eliminate wasteful duplication. According to the 2026 Abridged Budget Core Circular, only 30% of the 2025 capital budget will be released this year, while the remaining 70% will form the basis of next year's capital spending. The directive is contained in the 2026 Abridged Budget Core Circular issued by the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning and circulated to ministers, service chairs, and head of agencies. The circular said the government had adopted a new framework that caps all 2026 capital budget ceilings at 70% of 2025 project allocations. In foreign exchange, Nigeria's FX inflows fell to a 16-month low of $2 billion in November, despite increased dollar supply from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The decline highlights sustained pressure on foreign exchange liquidity and the continued weakness of the naira, even as monetary authorities ramped up market interventions. Data from FMDQ shows that the total FX inflows dropped by 67%, from $6.1 billion in October to $2 billion in November, the weakest level since July 2024. Analysts attribute the slump mainly to reduced offshore participation, as foreign portfolio investment fell sharply to $593 million from $3.5 billion. FDI also remained muted, while domestic inflows such as remittances and corporate contributions weakened significantly. With foreign inflows dwindling, the CBN increased its interventions, raising FX sales to $380 million in November from $106 million in October. Analysts warn that the festive season demand may further pressure the naira, though stronger external reserves and expected boost in diaspora remittances could offer some support to market liquidity. On the foreign scene, the Economic Community of West African States has declared a state of emergency in the region. The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Toure, announced this during the 55th session of the Mediation and Security Council held in Abuja today. The meeting was convened following a series of coup and botched mutinies in West Africa. Toure said the recent uprisings underscored the need for deep reflection on the future of our democracy and urgent investment in the security architecture of the region. He warned that the growing unrest threatens not just national governments, but the collective stability of West Africa. Outside of Africa, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has met with Pope Leo on today as he finalizes a revised proposal aimed at moving the Russia-Ukraine war towards a negotiated resolution. The meeting, held at Castel Gandolfo, focused heavily on humanitarian concerns and the next phase of Ukraine's peace strategy. Zelensky emphasized that Ukraine remains committed to a peace process that respects its sovereignty and territorial integrity. He explained that the updated plan, now condensed into a more streamlined format, reflects Ukraine's ongoing consultations with global partners and aims to address the most urgent points of the conflict. During the discussion, Zelensky highlighted critical issues such as the return of Ukrainian children taken to Russia and the release of prisoners of war. Pope Leo reaffirmed the Vatican's readiness to support humanitarian efforts and encourage continued dialogue between all parties. Observers say the meeting comes at a sensitive moment as several world leaders are urging progress towards meaningful negotiations. Zelensky's firm stance on Ukraine's territorial rights remains a central pillar of his approach, and the revised plan is expected to shape upcoming diplomatic engagements. Reactions have been mixed. Supporters see the meeting as a constructive step towards renewed diplomacy, while others note that achieving significant progress will depend on whether Moscow shows willingness to participate in future talks. As Ukraine prepares to share its updated proposal, many eyes remain on the next steps in peace progress. Welcome to sports. Real Madrid's French superstar Kylian MBAPPE did not come out to train with his teammates today on the eve of his team's key Champions League clash against Manchester City. The forward broke a finger during the defeat of Celta Vigo in La Liga on Sunday, and when asked by AFP, Madrid said his absence from the training was because of that injury, but also other discomforts he suffered in that match. If Mbappe is unable to play against City tomorrow, it will be a big blow for coach Xabi Alonso, with Spanish media reporting that a defeat will lead to his dismissal. The 26-year-old striker has scored 25 goals in 21 matches across all competitions this season and has been Madrid's key player. In entertainment, ODUMODUBLVCK and WIZKID have shaken the internet after winning Best Afro Rap Fusion at the 2025 EAEA Awards, and fans are still buzzing. The moment their names were announced, the entire venue lit up. People online are saying the win makes perfect sense. ODUMODU raw, street-heavy rap blended with WIZKID's smooth global sound has been one of the most refreshing pairings in recent music. Social media has been wild since the announcement. Some fans are calling it a big W for the culture, while others are just excited to see two completely different styles fused so effortlessly. A few debates popped up too, with some wondering if the category is shifting or expanding, but most fans agree that the collaboration pushed boundaries in the best way. During the acceptance, ODUMODUBLVCK gave a loud shout out to the streets that elevated his sound, and WIZKID reminded everyone that African music is only getting started and there's still so much room to grow. Now people are already asking the big question, will the duo drop another collaboration? If the reactions are anything to go by, fans are more than ready. Finally, on entertainment, a throwback photo of Davido from 2017 is suddenly making waves online after fans spotted a Mercedes GLE parked neatly in his garage, a reminder of just how long the singer have been living superstar lifestyle. The picture, which resurfaced on social media this week, has fans talking about Davido's early taste for luxury and how he has been collecting premium cars long before the spotlight grew even brighter. Many are joking that while others were still hustling for Uber, Davido already parked a GLE like it was nothing. Some fans are using the photo as proof of how consistent his success has been, pointing out that his love for cars then starts today. Others are simply enjoying the nostalgia, remembering the era of hits like Eve and Fall, calling those years Davido's golden run. The photo has sparked phone conversations across social media, with fans comparing his 2017 garage to his current place and noting how his collection has grown even bigger over the years. And that will be it on this bulletin. Thank you for staying tuned. Please remember to connect with us on all our social media platforms shown on your screen, and visit our website at africanews24.ng for the latest updates to stay informed and ahead. Let's reconnect at 6 o'clock for updates and breaking news. I'm Mary Adam. Goodbye for now.